It seems every year that we have new items, Master Yi finds a way to abuse them, and not the ones you expect, like, Unhit is back, right? Lethal Temple runes on your screen, we have Terminus, Rage Blade is there, you've got the ability to go more into that DPS threshold. However, the build in the thumbnail, the one with the experimental Hexplate, yeah, that's the one we're going, because as you all know, when he presses his R button, yes, he gets bonus attack speed and movement speed. Right there. Hexplate does the same, so you double down and really juice those stats, which is all he really needs because he's got E that does true damage. Now, okay, I'm just stopping it right here because the Vi started on red. We know she started on red from Leash. What he likes to do here is just take your topside quadrant before you even get up, because most jungles are still doing Krugs into Raptors. I had to pause and say that because, as you see from the animations, Vi's on the wolf camp, we say hello, huzzah, we have our E, we have the smite, we can split the wolf camp, and now we can chase down, and hopefully this time it works. It doesn't work. So it looked like a little bit of a ghost. It's just an animation glitch. That was a flash. We go flash for the free kill and we're done. Now, you absolutely must head over to Virkayu.gg. I have a free jungle improvement resource as well as a dedicated program where we have jungle video courses, jungle coaching VOD libraries, weekly free video content seen nowhere else, as well as Q&As and patch note rundowns, as well as a private jungle Discord. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's making junglers reach their goals, as we saw with the record number of people hitting them at the end of Season 13. If you want to climb faster than anyone you know, jungle diff every game you play, click the link below or head to Virkayu.gg. In this particular case, normally in history, we would stay and we would do the blue and the gromp, but they've really lowered down those death timers, so Vi could very easily come to the top side now, and Vayne has prior to rotate. Rumble can easily rotate directly. Obviously, he's got no HP in this particular case, so he's not going to be doing that. But the Vayne could. And if the Vi comes out of base and the Vayne collapses, it's a little bit rough white coin flip, but let's go back to base. Because we have the huge advantage of having a longsword and some boots. Now, the boots are very, very good in the early phases of the game when you get ahead, because now you get to go to things quicker. So, maybe Vi wants to take your blue, you rotate quickly over to defend it. Maybe you want to fist over the crab, you both move towards it, but you have boots so you get there quicker. All of these things factor in. Now, you saw on the map, I think, the Vi pinging the blue buff that she was going to go to that, but once you know that the Yi's not on your blue, and you've gone to the bottom side, you're like, well, this sucks. So from Vi's perspective, I kind of like, what? She's not really thinking about that. I kind of like just going back to the top side and sequencing down, or what I actually like is you go to the Krugs, you do this. Yes, it takes you a long time, but it doesn't really matter, because if the Vayne checks this, and you know no one's on the blue, then you categorically know you can just swoop up and you'll have topside control, and you prevent yourself from being counter jungle. That's one way to look at it. I've had those discussions with people. There's not, there's correct ways and there's like not so correct ways, but there's very few absolute incorrect phases when you die like that. I mean, it was really random death. The point, though, is that Master Yi is unholy potent overall, even early. People think this champion's Giga weak early, but he's actually pretty damn strong when used correctly. Now, obviously, he is not as how he used to be, and it does take a little bit of time to ramp up, but you see here, he has no stress using his passive, saving that alpha because, of course, it's a Rakan, getting the kill here. The death sucks, and Scenarios will always tell you, don't die unnecessarily, but I got gold, I'm 2-1-0, I'm happy with that. And most Master Yis I've confirmed think, it's relaxed, I'm scaling. Get the gold through kills, guys. It's okay to give up a few camps. Vi now takes the top side. She should know that the guy's got his whole top side quadrant up. But because he just died mid lane, most likely will path to the top side to defend those camps. So there's a lot of guessing going on, but not guessing, but like educated extrapolation, about what enemy junglers are going to do. Yi obviously will go to the top side, triple longsword tech, not the Doran's tech, but the triple longsword, because we love Rage Blade, we love Titanic, and we love Hexblade. And we're going to go in that direction. We'll see how this game unfolds with those damage spikes. That's the most important thing. It's a really disgusting build, because if you flex into the Sterix gauge, as you should, basically tenacity, right? They put tenacity on that item. You can't be killed. You got your meditate. You have alpha. You don't get CC for a very long time. Your ult makes you immune to slows. It's just such a powerful 3-item spike that makes you basically immune to, well, everything but your own stupid-ass decisions. So let's see what we do. I like the aggression, though. That's sort of just what I'm going with here. No AFK farm, no quadrant control. Hey, Vi starts bottom side. She's probably going to do the quadrant. Let me go and invade and take the top side. Oh, Vi's on the wolves. Okay, I'll kill you. Right? There's no hesitation. And I do like that kind of style when I see a Master Yi, because it shows knowledge of damage output. It shows the ability to actually play the champion well. And this is obviously at the moment the rank 1 NA Master Yi. So we shadow mid lane for a gank. nothing to do, and you'll notice the grubs are available. The condemn into the Galio, which is very, very good, but the alpha goes through, we get the final kill, auto attack onto the Vayne, and now we're just going to kill a Vi who's way out of position, gets taunted here. This is now a 3-1-2 Master Yi with 18 CS, and we can go grubs. I'm seeing this a lot. I saw an Evelyn in yesterday's video. The Evelyn, she, in some games, had 4.7 CS per minute, and you would have noticed if you watched that video, there was a lot of the same kind of thing, except that in her case, sequencing for 6, but then a lot of what you're seeing from the Yi. So because people are really looking at the new map and exploring the new map and fighting over grubs and things like this, you're seeing a lot of people actually go for more severe fights. Like, look at this, the Rakan is just rotating up 5 minutes, 6 minutes, just for this grub attack. And look, I am not proud to say that this has happened to me just as much. I go for the grubs, and then mid lane rotates, and now we're just going to run away and hopefully give the kill just to Rakan. Beautiful. Don't give it to the mid lane. But mid lane gap has been astronomically big this season so far. And if you don't have prime mid lane here, and you go for this, it's okay to take 1, it's okay to take 2, try not to die in it, but it is quite difficult, because supports and mids, and everyone's rotating for these grubs early, and if your champion isn't really attuned to fighting there, you're going to be caught out. So, in both games we've covered now, it's been a lot more ganky, fightery, move around the map, just look for things, versus sequencing. And that's really not what anyone predicted. Now we're using good pathing. Look at this. You see, obviously, this is a big, wide lane. It's girthy. So you have a lot of room to enter in the right angle and get your kills. If you know it's wooded in the middle, if you watch the Jungle Changes video on the main channel, you know you can just slide through this bush, cut directly here, hug the wall super tight. You see the mouse. Watch the mouse. Watch the mouse. Like this, cut in, tight to the wall, tight to the wall, tight to the wall, until you get around here, and then you cut in. If you cut in too soon, and it's warded where the mouse is now, you will be detected. I tested this in PB and I showed it on the Jungle Changes video. So learning those fog of war gaps, again, will be very, very important. But the Vayne is pre-6. At 6 minutes 50, Galio hits it. We're going to alpha in. That ult is not so good. Not so good Galio ult. Twitch is just perma roaming here. Obviously, it is a Vayne. We don't have meditate for another 2 seconds, and now we do. So if we need to use it, we can do. We have the bottom lane rotating as well. The Master Yi is going to channel, heal. The damage reduction going up to 100% based upon Master Yi's missing HP. And now we're just waiting for a moment to press EQ to try to get that true damage proc. We'll heal again. Here we go. Nice channel. And that's why people don't like this champion anymore. Not that they liked him anyway. But that was a big thing for me. I like meditate being like 22 seconds, and I understood how the animation cancel worked, and now he just channels and heals. Look at this. This I don't enjoy as much, but, you know, comes at the expense of the one-time giga use of damage reduction. And again, like the Evelyn, you're seeing this super hovering of objectives and lanes and fighting. It's like it's not clean at the moment. This season is very reminiscent of last season, where we had a lot of ganks, but I felt like it was more organized. Like there was no golden experience, so we just damn well had to go ahead and gank. In the case of Master Yi here, and the Evelyn and the Vi, it's just, well, not the Vi. The Vi's actually done a solid job. You know, farming, nothing else. Did nothing else well, but she farmed well. I don't like this real inefficient gold income. It's a lot of risk, but at the same time, it's like, well, if I get the grubs, I can go to the plate, so GG. And now, because we kind of have this idea that they're going to be on the dragon, we can just go ahead and snack these grubbies. She takes that, so we're quickly going to move over and take this one here. Obviously, the patch notes and the way they kind of described it was a little bit weird. It was like each grub has its own individual timer, but as you can see, these two here haven't yet respawned, and this grub here will, you know, it seems like they're all spawning together versus like all individually. So we'll keep an eye on that, because I'm not sure how Riot actually intended it to work. Because when do we take the first ones? It's 6 minutes, so we got about 3 minutes. 4 minutes. 10 minutes. We'll keep an eye on it to see if those other two respawn nicely. But you can't see in the scoreboard, right? Top left here, you got a 3. Tells you the grubs. As I said yesterday, 3 to 3 is good. Smite away, love it. Now we do have the ult. We're going to alpha in onto the Vi here. She's going to flash out. We're going to keep auto-attacking. We've used our E extensively. True damage. And our passive, obviously, is... people like to meme the 3-hit passive. This is a 4-hit passive. Every 4th attack. Not a 3 attack. Every 4th attack. We strike twice. Oh, yes. We're fighting on the bottom lane here. Vi is level 6. But I feel like... You know, I love the Tiamat. The Tiamat active is huge, okay? The Titanic Rush is huge on Xin Zhao, on Master Yi, on a lot of different champions. I have some hidden tech on some others, actually, that I want to talk about at some point. Not ready yet. Cooking at the moment. When I'm finished cooking, I will release. But it's great that it's back. It definitely is in a better spot than the Ravenous Hydra, which I feel is a bit like... You know, between Profane, Hydra, and Titanic, it's like, you know, I get it. I get it. But you're not seeing as many people kind of go it as you might have thought. So Gallia's Omega Fisting on the bottom lane here. You hold waves. I know it doesn't feel good to sit here and hold waves as a melee against a Vayne and things like that. She's just free farming basically, but you can defend the plates, you can alpha strike in, you can get the cannon wave, and you know if you can all in here, you have the potential to kill. So, what have we learned from the Evelynn and the Master Yi in terms of play styles for Season 14? Firstly, it's about understanding the strong items, because items are new. When items are new, like Mythics were new, you gotta figure out which are the ones that your champion can abuse. Because there will always be better ones than others when they do this kind of thing. I like this though, look at this. There's no risk. It's just, I'm a chill, clear the wave, hold the plates, and then I'll carry on about my day. Too many junglers hold this and try and trade. Just be a laner for a second, right? I also wish laners would do this, like just chill. Sometimes you don't have to fight if you're in a counter matchup. Junglers are very good at that. High elo junglers are very good at this. So it's 11 minutes now, and you can see that there's no grubbies, right? That's what was a little bit confusing in the language that they use. It was like, hey, each grub camp has its own timer, but it doesn't seem that... It doesn't make sense, right? Like, if each grub spawned by itself, that would be awesome. Because then you have two spawning up now, but I guess that would make a lot of randomness in terms of what you can take and what you cannot take. So that's something I misunderstood. I think a lot of people misunderstood. Very much it is tied to, once you clear all the grubs, then the camp resets. And now you're seeing the damage with that. Strong, active, it's a strong build path. Bless, no more pickaxe. It used to always be longswords, no more pickaxe. It's great because pickaxe is a little bit weird in those early games, like you saw. But we have 3 grubbies, we can go ahead and do that. They're going to spawn here shortly. Because what did we take the last one at? It was 9:30, so like 12:30. Well, the grubs. This turret's gone. And I think that's the biggest thing. So, when you're Evelynn type of champion and you can build a Storm Surge or something like this, sequence up, give up the grubs if you have to, focus on 6, and then look to really use that 6. Use the power of the item, right? The item's not being used if you're not actually killing people. Secondly, if you are more of a Master Yi, Gold Savant, Belveth kind of player, don't get stuck into sequencing too much. Look to fight, look to kill, look to get the grubs early. Look to compromise your sequencing a little bit just to be active at the moment, because that's what people are doing. You can see the fighting is really going, and Master Yi loves this. But most importantly, it's because this map is so open. And I don't like that for me. I'm being invaded by mids and supports and junglers 3v1 in my jungle more than I can possibly remember, just because the map is so open. And I really don't like that. It's a negative experience. So we're going to have to figure out, once the meta develops, you know, what are the systems and items and procedures that we can kind of avoid being invaded. So if that's you, I'm with you. I understand it sucks. But ideally, if you're playing one of these meta OP junglers we're looking at in the first few games, you're seeing very inefficient farm and econ. But the gold amounts are important. So, here is Rumble, who is now dead with the Titanic Hydra. We're exhausted, by the way, and it doesn't really matter. Keep auto-attacking to get that alpha cooldown back off of... Get the alpha strike cooldown back up. Always good to make sure you're auto-attacking as much as possible. There was a double hit in the 4th attack and obviously the alpha. So, every time you attack on the alpha, you reduce the cooldown as well. Don't use your alpha. I know you press E, but don't use your alpha unnecessarily. See here? We get stunned, we press E, we auto-attack, then we dodge aggro, get the kill, and we move back out. W channel as necessary, beautifully done. E is true damage. You want to use it before you alpha, you want to time your alpha perfectly. Use your meditate, obviously, I guess liberally is the word. Liberally. But yeah, alpha is the ability that good Master Yis understand how to use. Because when you're dodging crucial CC spells, and honestly, it sounds so simple, but once an area's got high up with Master Yi the first time we had a discussion. I made a video about him way back. You know, his thing was, guys, just save your alpha. Everyone just engages like, yes, I press R, I press E, I go in. And they don't think about when's the best time to actually alpha in relation to what the enemy champion wants to do to try and CC me or damage me or whatever, right? But yeah, I mean, it sounds like a simple thing. As the grubbies disappear, we took the dragon here. Sorry, little replay glitch. But I love it. This sequence here, you know, this is the sequence that we're talking about that's very important. If your early game is done correctly, you get to 1247, you get your single item completion, your Storm Surge, your Titanic, whatever's strong, right? Your Hexblade or Nocturne, doesn't matter. Now you got to use it. So what are we at? 5.5k gold at 13 minutes. 6,000 gold at 14 is your metric. for being able to 1v9 games. That's my metric. I kind of put that as a baseline. If you're at 6,000, at 14, you know you can carry games. And basically, we know we got this item spike. So he goes through here, he traps, he kills, through exhaust, he kills, uses mechanics, kills someone again. Vi goes in here again, boom, boom, boom. All of a sudden, we're 8-2. Take a dragon. Gold amount, 7,000 at 14. Perfect. The peak you can sort of get is like 9,000. If you get more than that, the game is kind of hilarious. But even at this point, a 7,000 gold Master Yi is running away with the game if he executes appropriately. Now, we have gone for the plated steel caps because Vayne, Xayah, Vi, I mean, the Rumble's not really an issue. We don't really need Merc Treads because we're going to build into a lot of that Sterex later on if we need to. Or you could go Wits End, Sterex, and Merc Treads against hyper tenacity comps, and really, like, you don't get CC'd. And that's why it's like you're an immortal person, you don't die. Here we go. We've pressed the R button, we've got our E, we're going to go for auto attacks now, and we'll just hold off and use our alpha to get the kill. And it's really that simple, because everyone knows they need to try and CC Master Yi. They need to try and do something to him to kill him. He's squishy, right? But good Master Yi just hold it. Like, I can hold my alpha guy. I can just keep attacking you with true damage for 5 seconds, all right? And meditate is necessary. I don't need to use my alpha. I can just use it to kill you, because eventually you're going to want to use a spell, and I'll just dodge it with alpha. So try and save that, I think, is the biggest tip as well. But I mean, hold shift and show more info. Yeah, I would like to, but I want to see the damage Riot Games. Unlucky. Unlucky. Hopefully they'll bring that back. The logic for not putting the stats in with the items is stupid, like clarity or... No, I get more clarity from seeing the stats. So next up, obviously, we have the Rage Blade. This is the classic on-hit itemization, and people are like, oh, what about Thomas? No, just go Rage Blade. The thing is, and this is very important, on Hexblade, I want to say. Hexblade, I'm still remembering the name. It's Experimental Hexblade. The ultimate haste item, right? The fighter ultimate haste item with HP and things like this, like the pseudo Stridebreaker item. This is a very good one on Nocturne to rush. But in other champions, it's not something you necessarily need to rush over other items. Because even though mythics are gone, you're going to have priority items. And you're not always looking to stack like 6 mythics. People are looking to stack like 6 mythics now. They're like, oh man, I got the Trinity Force, the Rage Blade, and I can have the Stridebreaker, and I have all these things that used to be mythics. Those are all priority 1 items, right? They're strong items. Sure, you can stack 2 or 3 of them, but you still need to itemize appropriately for the game. So Wits End, Sterex Gauge, you know, Zhonya's if you're AP. These things all matter a lot, and I don't know how one actually deals with Master Yi when he's this far ahead with this itemization, because you're looking at 500 health. Huge cleave damage, right? Huge cleave damage. You need a bit of HP as well to scale this off nicely, right? You see the scaling on the HP there? That's why we want to keep building HP, and the Hexblade plus the Sterex Gate comes in. So, Tenacity, HP, Meditate, more damage comes through from it, and you got Unhit from Rage Blade. And you can dodge spells with Alpha Strike. This is an absolute broken build of Master Yi. Broken. And I mean that literally. Use it properly. Don't just alpha in, because yes, you can still technically be killed, but I feel like if you're good enough, you can't. Why would you do face check this? What? Here we go. Gather your ult, Alpha Strike into the back line, flash out, get condemned, get exhausted, and Vayne is the one we don't like. Vayne, for obvious reasons, is a tough cookie. But we'll get the assist there, and we run away. I think that's the most important thing as well about Master Yi, is like kind of, okay, look, this is doomed, I'm leaving. Don't die necessarily as much as possible, unless you're getting about like 3 kills or 4 kills or pentakill. And he just goes back to the Scuttle Crab, lets his team do the work. Kind of want to see the Hexblade fight here. So currently his team is pushing it a little bit. He goes back to his own econ team. Now you catch up, right? Now you catch up your CS. In these moments, push the wave, so-and-so, go into the jungle, take their camps. Really, I just wanted to show you that Tiamat active for clear, for damage, for bull path, super good. Titanic as an isolation rush item, super good. And then you go into the Rage Blade, and now we're really starting to go with the on-hit amplification. And again, attacks do an additional 84 true damage for 5 seconds. You know, he's one of those champions where I'm a tank and I'm like, am I? And tanks are really bad in the jungle, actually. It does suck. And I think as other classes are really struggling to find their specific itemization, that's the sweet spot. Champions like Master Yi and Evelyn, that's why I released these two, have figured it out already. Free elo for you guys. Because everyone else is trying to think, like, what do I build in this situation? How do I deal with this? What does this do? And Master Yi's just like, well, I mean, I've always done a Titanic Rageblade thing. This is not new, but obviously the items have all been updated across the board. And now we've got this one right here, 55 attack damage, 20% attack speed, and 300 HP, 30 haste for your ultimate. But the most important thing is, and you can't see it on screen unfortunately, after casting your ultimate you gain 35% attack speed and 15% bonus movement speed for 8 seconds. And that's in conjunction with that. So, when we talk about jungle, ooh, that was pretty. When we talk about jungle, 2 to 3 item spikes are the most important. See, we're at 11,000 gold, we got 3 items. And typically, the reason why we do that is because at one item, you use it to control your transition into the mid game, 12, 13, 14, as you saw, okay? That 6,000 gold, 7,000 gold, 8,000 gold metric is so that you can complete that second item and power that mid game properly. And if you do that properly, which he did with Titanic Rageblade, your third item is a 20-minute free Baron, no one's touching it. And you have to think like that. So there were closer games I could have used, but the Master Yi died like, oh, it's the same play, but he died like 8, 9 times. And I kind of wanted to go more into that, and I will. Right, and I will. We have the Jungle Discord club where we've already covered a coaching session talking about taking 3 grubs each, 4 to 2, 5 to 1, 6 to 0, and what you should think about with pathing and itemization. We'll go more into these kind of scenarios as we head deep into Season 14. But for this one, I just wanted to show you, hey, let's look at the different item spikes, 1, 2, 3. How do we jungle? Again, like the Evelyn, really random, not the best efficiency, which I don't like, but considering how open the map is and how many mids and supports are roaming and the grubs, as long as your champion can handle that and get fed from it, as you saw from the gold amount, we're good. And now at 164 CS, you know, only Yasuo is high and the guy's just pushing on the top wave. Huge. You know, as long as you catch up on that, it's massive. And now obviously we can build into a Death Stunt, we can build into, oh, hello Seraphine, build into a Asterix Gauge, you can build into a Wit's End, GA, all of the regular itemization that you love. Now let's see what we can do with this. Kind of curious, we got 3 items. So, Seraphine hits the ultimate, Rumble chucks it down, Vi is dead, Master Yi cannot be slowed, now he's free. See, he holds, gets condemned, Alpha's back in onto the vein, she goes that way, he auto-attacks to get the next skill, keep going, that's another Alpha attack, auto-attack, 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 reduce the cooldown on the Alpha strike, and then hit another one onto the vein, boof, dead, done. Movement speed, attack speed, ridiculous. Should we actually look at that? They're going to win the game here, but let's just look at that again. I want to see his regular stats. Okay, so his regular stats are, for your information, currently we're at, well, we were at 490 movement speed, now we're at 629. We pressed, get it correctly. I think this is the interesting part here, because the data isn't provided to us. So at 439 movement speed at this particular stage, right? 439 movement speed. Let's just wait till we get the exact moment we press R. Alright. Boom. There's R, it triggers a hex plate, and now we're at 663 movement speed. 663 movement speed. Still over 600. Now we're at 550, now it's 680 almost we hit, 672. Like, just kite him, guys. Just kite him and CC him. How? How is Alpha Strikes up every 2 seconds? Or not even every, because of the auto attack. And he's tanky too, right? He's got 2,800 HP. So, if you're Master Yi and you play this champion, build these 3 items, flex into your Asterix, as I said. But typically, if you play properly, you should end the game like this. And don't look to FK farm. Look to fight. Look to get gold. 210, 322. These are good KDAs for you, because he just took a 322 into 422 into an 822 into a dragon. That moment there is because we built Titanic Rush and started to build into Rageblade. Thank you very much for watching. See you at Virkayu.gg or in the next video.